All right, what is up, guys? This is Chris's Weird 25 here, and we're here with a brand new video. And this video is very special because today I'm here with my very good friend Andysolo54. Say hi, Andy.
Hi, hello. I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you should be. Today is very special because today we're going to be talking about the Uncharted film. Now, for those who don't know, which mostly many don't know, that me and Andy are really into the Uncharted films, or actually Uncharted games, I should say. We're both into the Uncharted games, and we decided, why not talk about it? And funnily enough, this is like my first thing I want to bring up, was that you were the one that gave me the idea to make this video.
Oh.
That was because like you were mentioning it on like Twitch, that like, oh, like, hey Chris, you should watch the film because we're the only two that actually, you know about the Uncharted games. Yeah. So I was just like, you know what, I might as well watch it. And then I was like, oh wait, I could turn this into a video, talk about everything, you know what I'm saying?
Literally. Oh my god, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we could literally tell that you have all the Uncharted stuff right in your background.
You said you were gonna get your background ready, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna clean and I'm gonna set out all my games. I'm so happy. He was like my first Funko Pop because my dad knew how much I loved the game that he introduced me to, and he's gone through hell, but I still have him and I love him.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I have like all just my pop figures set up in the background right here.
I love it. Every time when I saw it on TikTok, I was like, yes, the wall. On the wall.
Yeah, I have to have it, you know?
It shows your interest, and then people are like, I can talk to him about Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anime, Spider-Man. Ooh, like, they get to pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I'm so nervous.
Alright, so the first thing I wanted to bring up was like, how did you like go see the movie? Like, did you went to see it with your friends, or do you want to see it by yourself?
I went with my friends. I really wanted to go with my dad, but he was working. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go. Can I say the word fuck on YouTube?
Yeah.
I forget. Okay.
I curse in my videos all the time. It's alright.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck. Anyway, but yeah, I really wanted to go with my dad. But I went, he texted me immediately. He's like, your mom told me you went to watch the movie. And I was like, yes, it was really good. You need to go watch it. So if he's going to watch it, it's definitely, not going to lie, it's a movie that I'll go watch a second time in the theater or at home. Mm-hmm. But I'll definitely go watch it again.
Yeah, that's something actually I put in my notes as well. Here, I'm going to start out with like some initial thoughts. Like,
go for it.
So like, what both are our initial thoughts? I'm going to start. So my thing I wrote right here in my notes saying like, I was expecting the movie to be okay, not the best. I'll probably be as far from the material and wouldn't have the essence of Sully and Nathan Drake's characters. I honestly thought I would have hated it 100%, but now thinking back, I wrote more so 80% hates and 20% like. And I also thought that the acting would be horrible and the writing would be awful. That was my initial thoughts before going into the film, but I want to know what yours were.
I love Tom Holland. Like, I want him to kiss me on the forehead. I love the guy. He's so charming and like so quirky. And I think that's the one thing that I was like, okay, he may be like super young. He doesn't have like the facial hair and like the hair, but he does have the quirkiness that Nathan Drake has. So I was like, okay, maybe he can portray that good. Mark Wahlberg though.
I'll get to it in a minute as well. We'll mention yours.
Dude, like, okay. I like some of his movies, but not that much. Yeah. But I was really expecting the writing to be, like, horrible. I was expecting the CGI to be kind of shit. Because, like, this is a video game movie. Mm-hmm. If you see, like, Doom or, like... What else did they make? Is it just Doom? Video? Oh, no. Resident Evil? That one's okay.
What else have they made? They made, like, Sonic. I mean, that was, like,
Sonic,
a video...
That one has not flopped. And, yeah, like almost all the video game movies always flop. Mm-hmm. So I was like just expecting it to be nasty and just ugly. And yeah, I don't know, the writing, and then me and Chris talked about the director. I was so scared. I was like, maybe this is gonna be really good or really bad, because he cannot make second, like, sequels. He cannot make sequels, bro. He can't. So I was really scared, but definitely like 70-80% my thought was like, this is gonna suck, but I like I like the video game, so I'll go watch it.
Exactly. I think that was just mostly everyone's thought before going in. Like, okay, this is an Uncharted film. It's like you can take the resource from the game. It's literally right there. Everything's there. You can't really fuck up because every character is like human.
All the beautiful scenery is literally just a video game, so they could have like CGI'd it. So I was like, they cannot mess this up.
Yeah.
They can't. It's right there for you. Even the writing, which I think we'll get into it. I don't know if you noticed. It was like a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay. The next thing I want to bring up was my thoughts after the movie. My initial thoughts, or no, my afterthoughts of the movie is that I wrote here. I love the film despite being far from the game material. It honestly should not be called Uncharted and be called something else because it's still really good. But at the same time, the movie is building its own universe, which I had thought originally, which is why I came into the movie with an open mind about it. The movie doesn't mess around with like shitty MCU type jokes that ruin the momentum, like Spider-Man No Way Home or Infinity War or a couple other Marvel films that do the same thing, which is really nice and is really relieving to see. What I love about the movie is that it's saying this is Nathan Drake's first treasure hunt adventure and showing how gullible and how naive he is. I also love the progress, as later in the film it shows that Nate is finally catching up to what Sully was been warning / telling him about, teaching him about throughout the whole entire film. Overall, the movie was much better than I anticipated, and since it's its own separate world from the video games, it has an empty canvas that the director can build off of and make its own treasure hunting adventure. So basically, like, you know, he made a template for himself that he can work off of. So there's really no way I could see him messing up from this. So overall, I'd rate it a solid 8 out of 10, as it is worth a rewatch and your time if you were there to watch it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have some like really, really great thoughts after, and some like thoughts.
Okay.
Like, I feel like it's something me and my dad will definitely talk about too. But overall, I really like Tom as Nathan Drake. He did a really, really good job. And I really like the writing. I felt like they literally took it out of the video game, especially when they were like, when he was reading all the cards. It felt like I was playing the game, because you know you can do a lot of stuff in the game. Anything you touch, he will talk about. So anytime he would flip the card and he'll start talking, I'm like, I'm in the game. I can skip this part, but I won't. that was really nice. I was like, oh, I like this. The actor for the brother, I wish they chose like a little bit of an older guy, because he is really old. Like, his hair is really long, and I think the actor just looks way too young too. I think he needed more time, more talking time. I feel like he didn't get enough. But Nathan Drake, Tom Holland was quirky enough. Is it Chloe, the girl? Is she British?
Yeah.
I always forget. I thought she did really well. I loved that they didn't. How do I explain it? Like, in the video game, I feel like they make her really sexual. I don't know if you remember, but like, she's over sexualized, and I like that they picked a very like I don't know if this is bad to say, but like a very normal girl. And it was like, and none of the scenes were too over sexualized besides him working out. I was like, oh wow. Damn.
Oh wow.
Tom Holland. I'm like, wow, dude.
You're like Tom Holland.
I was like, oh my god. I was trying not to look. I was like, whoa. I've never seen him that shirtless in my life. Oh gosh. I felt like I was looking at a friend. I was like, oh no, stop. But like Chloe, I was so happy they did not over sexualize her. And again, I don't know if this is bad, but she's like an average girl, and I feel like I could have been that girl, and I loved it. And she was so clever. I liked her so much. What is the name of the evil girl? I always forget her.
Braddock.
I liked her voice. She did a really good job.
Yeah, she did.
They did use like her beauty, and I liked it. Because it wasn't too much either.
She knows how to use it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this is good. What else? I really like, dude, I was freaking out about the clothing. I give them a 10 out of 10 out of that. A lot of the shirts, I felt like they also pulled them out of the game. I was like, this is nice. But yeah, I feel like they took some of the writing from the video game, some of the scenery from the video game. So I also give it an 8 out of 10, only because like I've played the games before, so I was a little confused of what was happening.
Gotcha.
I was a little confused, but it was good. I'm gonna watch it again.
What I do not like is how Sully doesn't explain things to Nate correctly. Like, he's giving him warnings, which the audience, like, we can pick up easily, but in how like an actual person talks to someone, it doesn't make any sense. Like, that in the writing just felt so weird, didn't felt right at all. It was awful. I feel like Sully should have said, like, Nate, avoid her at all costs. Like, when Nate saw like Braddock for the first time, and he was like, whoa, who's that hottie over there? You know, Sully was just like, nah, don't. And
don't
that was it. And he was like, yeah. and Nate was just like, no, like, what do you mean? Like, she's kind of fine. Yeah. Like, yeah. Because he, like I said, he should have just said, avoid her at all costs, as it would have stuck to his Nate fucking head better. Like, and as there were people who would like try to get after you for the treasure. Like,
exactly.
it would
you should have just told him.
It should have just made the connection once he said that, like, hey, people are gonna come after us, like, avoid them, you know? Okay, so it's funny that you mentioned of Chloe earlier, but like you may call me a simp, but like Chloe though.
Chloe, I like Chloe. I liked her. I was like, she's the it girl. Like, she doesn't have the sexual stuff. She's just like, she's so smart and like so clever. That's what I was like. She's cute. I like her.
Like, she was such a baddie, and I fucking loved it.
Yes, me too. And the way I like it. Yeah,
and like her casting is fucking fantastic. The actress who played her is Sophia Taylor-Ali, and she does a really great job capturing her character on screen. Plus, the chemistry with Nate's character is like very great as well.
It did not feel awkward. I thought it was gonna feel awkward, but it did not. It felt like they've known each other, and I liked it.
Yeah, it didn't feel awkward. It felt like two people were introducing for the first time, and also the way she acted just felt like Chloe from the video games. It just felt so like it felt like the character from the video games I was looking at. Yeah.
The accent too. I was like,
oh my god, the accent too. Just sounds like Chloe. It just sounds exactly like her.
It was perfect. I liked her. I liked her a lot. I liked her a lot.
And obviously, you might call me a simp, but like, Tom's Nate is a fucking bigger simp. He be talking up to like everyone. He talked up with the lady at the bar in the beginning, Braddock, Chloe. Like, the dudes is a smooth talker.
He's a simp. That's the thing though. Was he a simp for her in the games like that too? I'm trying to remember.
Well, yeah, because he, like, mentioned it in the first game. He was with what's that? What was his wife's name before they
before they got married?
Yeah.
All I remember is she's a
Elena.
Yeah. I like her.
You know, he was like talking it up smooth with her, with Elena. Then in the second one, he was with Chloe. You know, that made
me sad.
And then in the movies, it's just like, you know, he's a natural smooth talker.
Yeah, he is. That's why I'm like, he was kind of perfect. He didn't have the look, but he had the quirkiness and like the smoothness.
Yeah.
And, like, I liked it. I was like, he did such a good job, but it hurt my feelings because I'm like, what about your wife? I was like, where is she?
Elena?
Yes. I was like, what about her?
Well, I'll mention that later as well.
Yeah, I was like, I think, yeah.
Alright, but truthfully though, the number one spot in the whole movie is that cameo from Nolan North. I love that.
I was like, that guy.
I was like, Nolan North. It's him. It's Nathan Drake.
I was looking at my friend. I was like, do you see that? And like, had a stranger sitting next to me, and she was just like, huh? And I was like, him. I was so excited. He looked so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I like that they spoke. I like that.
Yeah, it was so funny, but it was a nice seeing him because it was like a nice nod to the character from like the video games.
Acknowledgement.
He
deserved it.
Yeah, acknowledgement, which is like fair respect to the director and like to like the movie. My next thing I want to get into is Braddock, the evil character, the main evil character.
The guy.
Yeah. Let's see. Back to being a simp. Braddock is also a baddie, but she's also merciless as she killed both Monokata's father and son.
Who?
Two of them.
She did not like chill.
Like it's the ultimate portrayal.
I know. He was so excited. He was sharing his drink with her, and then all you hear is the slice. I'm like, again.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Oh my god. Wait. Question. I don't know if you have to add it to the video, but did she actually die in the video games?
I don't think I don't think she was a real character, was she?
Was she?
Because thing is, I only played up to the 3rd game. I haven't played the 4th game or even the what's it called?
Have you played this one?
No.
Chloe's in it. You should play it.
I need to play those 2 games.
I don't think she was real either. If she was in like.
No, I think she was just made up for the film.
For the film, okay. I'm like, cause they killed her off so quickly too. If I can speak about that, can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, they killed her off like so fast.
I mean, fair enough.
It was so brutal.
In a sense, it's like, yes, they killed everyone off, every villain so quickly, but at the same time, with the whole theme of like the treasure hunt game and it's like everyone's after one another, it makes sense.
Yeah. Nathan Drake does, like, in the video game, I just know I killed so many random people that were trying to shoot me. I killed them.
Yeah, like, there's so many people that just died that were, like, oh yeah, they were unnecessary.
Literally. But, okay, back to what else you were saying.
Let's see. As we saw in the film, she was with Sully before. But she was, like, with him before, like, as a partner, but it seemed more, like, romantic. But they never touched upon that, which I honestly think that's great because we didn't need to know more about their background. It was not necessary. I feel like if they did, they would have just dragged on a certain piece that just didn't matter.
Yeah.
But I had some thoughts about it, and my thoughts were just like that Braddock and Sully were together once before. They were a couple, but as Sully saw that she kills people to get the treasure, he decided to move away from her. To me,
he probably shit.
Wait, you were saying?
He probably like seen some shit, and that's why they don't work together.
Exactly, and to me that makes sense because as Braddock killing the Monokata family line was a way to get what she wants type of deal, and also why Sully doesn't betray his previous partners like Braddock, because Braddock, she killed off obviously the Monokata family. She probably killed off a bunch of people before that to get her treasures, get her like money and all this stuff. But I was seeing Sully, he doesn't kill people. Like he didn't kill, like it seemed like Braddock and him were together, so he didn't kill her, he didn't kill Chloe, and even meeting Nate for the first time, he didn't kill him. And his brother too. I just realized his brother too, he never killed him. His brother died. Like died.
I was gonna say
died. But,
oh my god.
But they're all not dead. They're all not dead. Let's see.
I wonder why she didn't kill him.
Nate?
No, I don't. I wonder why she didn't kill Sully.
I feel like since they separated, it's just like he didn't want to like a whole drama thing. So I guess it's just like Sully was just like a loose end. He didn't just need to die. He just for no reason, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I'm hoping it's like, because it did sound like they were in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping it's maybe like she has a soft spot for him in a way, and that's why he's not dead.
Exactly.
Thank God.
And something I noticed like not too long ago, I wrote in my notes, is that even at the end, say Braddock would have won. Say she killed off Nate and Sully. She still wouldn't have won. because as Sully stated at the end, the treasure then, like, once the ship fell off and fell into the ocean, all that belongs now to the Philippines.
Exactly. So how was she gonna make it that far?
Yeah, but
I feel like it's so old it would have fallen.
but thing is, she could have easily killed off the men on the boat and taken it back to the land and steal the ship again.
You're fucking right. You're so fucking right.
Yeah, but it's like but then again, it's like, if you think about it, if she did not like kill them, like, then she wouldn't have won, because like that money wouldn't have been hers. That treasure is not hers. It would have been only to the Philippines.
That's true.
Or wherever the place was located at the end.
I'm kind of glad she's dead.
Yeah.
I hope they don't bring her back in the future films, or like, I don't know. I hope they don't try and bring her back.
She's alive the whole time. She's alive.
They could. They added their own character, so I feel like they could bring her back, but I don't want her back.
She comes back with an eye patch, and then she's like a little burnt, and she's like, "Nate, I've been searching for you."
Literally. Oh, that could be like the second movie.
They could. Let's talk about Sam Drake and his character existing in the film. So, I love how they both introduce Nate and Sam. Now, some people are just like, "Oh, why'd you introduce Sam in the first film? He was introduced in the fourth film." But like, think about it though. Like, in the first game, he was never introduced. You know, if we were more introduced to Nate. You know, this movie is a bit more refined than that. I know that everyone was a bit off putting Sam to be introduced. But honestly, I think it's a good idea, as it gives Nate a reason to go with Sully and set up the plot for the film. I also love how much of an older brother Sam is, and how much he actually cares for Nate, even after he leaves him. Also love the fact that Sam gave Nate the clue for the treasure, and I knew that Sam hid a message for Nate in the letters, and with the whole secret ink and using the lighter technique. That though in my opinion it was very predictable, but it felt very satisfying for Nate at the end to finally catch on in the last act of the film. And I did love that Nate found the treasure as a way to commemorate himself and his brother, to say, "We did it, Sam." After all the years they both spent trying to find it. And I love in the first post end credit, which I'm already spoiling the first end credit, we saw that Sam is actually still alive, which I think we all knew he was still alive.
I like that he was introduced in the first movie. I did do some research trying to figure out, because like, I don't know if you noticed, the movie, it was written pretty well, but at the same time, if you've played the games, it was a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
And there was too much going on. I read that they focused on the fourth movie, so in a way they're going backwards, and I don't like that part. But in the fourth movie they did introduce his brother. He was like on his way to, can I tell them? Can I say like where he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on his way to jail. He's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for a person that's played the video game, it was definitely a little bit confusing, but like super exciting seeing how they build it up to that. Because towards the end, I heard a kid in the back like, "His brother's alive," and I'm like, okay, they're interested, they're liking this.
Yeah.
Because like you said in the beginning, it shouldn't be named Uncharted. Maybe they could have based it off of Uncharted, because at the same time it just feels like its own world, its own universe. But it was really exciting seeing Sam instead of like dragging it on. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna go backwards with the films.
Yeah, Avi, but like, if you think about it as well, it's like with the fourth game, it introduced the early life of Nate and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it makes sense as well, because it's like, okay, how are we gonna set this up to like from the very beginning? Well, obviously we should know that he has someone relative to him, because we don't know about his parents, we don't know about any other siblings. Oh wait, he has a sibling, Sam. Boom. Because I feel like they're going backwards, and you say like there's a bit of a bad thing. I feel like it's a bit of a good thing, because with Uncharted 4, obviously it shows them when they were kids, and then from then on it's like it's gonna build up more to the actual like, oh, Nate knows what the fuck he's doing now. He knows how to do treasure hunting. So I feel like it's gonna go from like 4 to 1, 2, and 3, and then back to 4 at the end.
Let me see. I think I wrote it down because I had to write down like the kind of way they're doing it. So they based it somewhat on the 4th, and I think they're going to the 3rd one because in the 3rd one was also the movie part of the movie. The end credits. I don't want to talk about it yet, but like that's where they're basing off the movie. I think the 3rd game. I'm hoping so because I recognize the outfits and like the scenery. I was like, wait a second, and it kind of bugged me because everyone kept saying like, no, he's Tom Holland is gonna play young Nathan Drake. When he first started, he was like 15. He was still like in the orphanage, but he escaped it, and I kind of was hoping for that, but they moved on from it so fast because that's how Sully met him. He met him as a child. So that's what threw me off a little. I'm like, okay, so Tom is old Nathan Drake. He's in his 30s, maybe.
Well, it was 25 in this film.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like when it was like say like, oh, he's gonna be as a young Nathan Drake, and I was thinking when he was like a kid, when he was like 15, 20, something like that, starting out, and it's like. No, the dude's already grown up. He's fucking 25, living in New York, doing his own thing.
Alcohol.
Yeah, bartending and all this other shit.
I was like, wait a second. So they got me confused.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so I was like, they got me confused, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. He's just starting out at 25, and then by the time he's probably 30, he's gonna be like, okay, got this shit all down.
Yeah, like super, because he's really good at it. So that's definitely like one of my complaints. It threw me off because it was like so mixed up. Because he's literally in the end credits, he's wearing the outfit that young Nathan Drake was wearing.
Right.
Nathan Drake. So I was like, damn it. Okay.
It's just like it played the whole like thing reversed.
Literally. Because, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Because like you saw in the boat, like at the end he had the tan shirt, and he got the vest from the one dude, and then they start playing the music, and he started like coming together as Nathan Drake, like as an older adult, and then at the end it's just like, okay, he's back to fucking being a skinny ass kid with a little
child. Okay, yeah. No, I kind of wish they gave him the scarf.
Oh, from the 3rd game?
Yes. I was waiting for that. I was like, where's his scarf? Where is it? But they gave him the little tan dirty shirt and his little gun thing, so I was like, okay, fine. Oh man. Okay, what are we on?
I was gonna get on to my next point, which was Nathan Drake's character and Tom Holland.
Go for it.
Okay, so first thing to note is that Nathan Drake is not Spider-Man. These two characters are not alike whatsoever, which is great because it feels like Tom Holland is finally like an actor and not like a child playing dressed up and being taken seriously for a role, which I love. It's as far as from being Peter Parker from the MCU, you know, like the whole like child bit, you know, like being weary and all this other stuff. Seems like he's more playing as a mature adult. He's already grown. He's understanding his way of life in his own way. And I wrote right here about like what we know. So Nathan Drake is a young guy who is 25 years old, who lives in New York City, that bartends for a living while occasionally steals from strangers to earn even more money in his pocket. As far as exploring the world, Nate has sort of no clue what he's getting himself into. And this definitely shows him being naive, as he has too much trust in the beginning, but learns later to deceive others, like Chloe, giving her the wrong coordinates to the treasure. It felt like at the end he's developing more into his video game persona, which is great to see. Nathan Drake in the movie is a different character overall, and Tom Holland fits this character perfectly in his own right.
He does. Yes, he does. I like that he wasn't treated as a child. He was hitting on women. He was shirtless. He was playing with alcohol, going to clubs, hitting on women. I'm still not over it because I've never seen Tom Holland like that. So that's why I was like, wow, okay. So he's definitely like making a name for himself again and expanding his surroundings, because I love Spider-Man so much. And in those movies, he's definitely a freaking child.
Yes.
But in this movie, he's a grown as adult, and I liked it.
Yeah, he's playing his age, and he's playing a character that's like mature and that like fits in his persona, which I didn't expect to fit him at all, but it just works perfectly because this isn't the first time Tom Holland is playing like a older character, a mature character in a sense, but I feel like this movie is the first one to be successful at it. Because Tom Holland has done other films like this, like The Lost City of Oz, Chaos Walking, The Devil of a Time.
Is that from that's the one from Netflix, right?
Yep.
I've seen the beginning and wow.
And then what was the newest? What was the one? What's it called? Oh, Cherry.
That one was intense as well.
Yes, but all of them did not like succeed as well. Because Chaos Walking back when he was first like tweeting it out and posting on his story on Instagram that the movie got delayed so many times and that he kept doing reshoots. They kept doing reshoots. And guess what ended up happening? There was basically no promotion for the film and it flopped.
Dude, it flopped so bad. And it wasn't good. I'm sorry.
I never watched it, but because I can't even say anything. But like, what does that say? You know, and you already said yourself. You know, it's bad. The Lost City of Oz was a movie he did with Robert Pattinson, which I completely forgot because it was made throughout the same time when Captain America: Civil War was made. So, and what happened to that film? That film barely got any any attention towards it.
Yeah, is that also the one where he's on a boat?
I'm not sure because I do not know anything about that film other than of its title and who he worked with, which was only Robert Pattinson.
Damn.
The Devil of Time was another role where he played as a young like a person who's just got out of high school and living in the countryside within like an era like many years ago. And by many years, I feel like 1950, 1960.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, the film wasn't bad, but the problem was that the direction was pretty awful. That the beginning was not good at all, and the rest of the movie was kind of bland. And the voice acting was like, his voice acting was okay. His attempt at a country accent was pretty shit, to say the least.
Dude.
But he tried, and I respect him for it.
He tried his best. It got some clout. Like, the movie did okay. And, like, I saw a bit of it on Twitter and Facebook. So I think that movie, it was like a 6 out of 10. So it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. And better than everything else he'd done. And including Cherry. Which Cherry, like, obviously was on Apple TV. It had a really great trailer for it, but people said that it was quite awful.
Dude, I read into it. They said the writing was bad, like the producing was bad, like there was no story to it in a way, and it was jumping a little too much from scene to scene.
Yeah,
it was just aggravating.
It just felt like that, like all these other projects were just sort of rushed to like try to get Tom Holland like, you know, out there, try to get a name for himself. Which is to me, it's very disrespectful to him because he's a good actor and he should deserve like better roles. Which is like the same issue I have with the Spider-Man films, because obviously the first 2 films, in my opinion, are just bad because they don't have really good writing in it. It needed so much better writing for it to like really stand up to the predecessors he had. And it didn't have that at all. The third film was really just it's a huge redemption arc for like Tom Holland and Spider-Man as a whole character. As is like it's completely wiping away everything from the past. As it's saying, all right, well, the last 2 films did trash. All right, now the director's like, now I fucking get it. All right, we'll erase everything from the past, and he's like by himself, you know, broke as fuck, having trouble with paying loans and all this other stuff, and he's by himself. He don't got no one to help him. We finally got them.
Dead, Aunt May dead, parents dead, Zendaya gone, Ned gone. That's so depressing. I kept seeing tweets of like, why do y'all want to see Peter Parker be so sad and alone? And at the same time, I was like, oh my god, that's true. Like, we do want to see him that way.
But then again, it's for the plot, Andy. It's for the story.
It's literally for the plot. But like, it definitely hurts my feelings. People are like, another thing they mentioned about the first two movies, they're like, no, he had everything. And I was like, no, he was pretty poor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was just being Spider-Man out there, but he was still broke.
Yes.
He was still broke.
But like, in having everything, he did have the Avengers. He did have Stark Tech. He did have all this other stuff to back him up. But now, like, it's like saying, no, he doesn't. It's him by himself, and he has to figure this whole thing by himself now, which I really do like.
I'm so excited, but I'm so sad for him. And that was some of the best acting too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the movie? Like when he first started off, he was younger, and there was like, it's not a hurricane.
I know what you're talking about, Tsunami.
So yeah, dude, that movie was amazing, and I felt like I got to see that kind of acting in Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
He did really good.
Yeah.
In the serious parts.
Yes. It finally pulled through that, like, the serious bits of that movie. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but other than that, let's get back to Uncharted.
Sorry, Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man.
All right, let's talk about Sully.
Bruh.
Sully. All right, so what can I say about Sully? Well, it's 50-50 because he is and he isn't his character. The movie version and the video game version are both different. And as Mark Wahlberg doesn't feel, look, or act like Sully at all, other than being a little bit older and having a mentor voice throughout the entire film. But at the same time, they equally have like similar personalities. And honestly, the movie version has my respect as his own character. He carries his weight and experience on his shoulders, like someone who's been in the treasure hunting game for years. Like, he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's saying, and it seems like Mark Wahlberg like does accentuate the mentor type of vibe.
So, Sully, I like Mark Wahlberg or whatever his name is. Mark
Wahlberg.
I like him. Yeah, I can't do it. How do you spell it? I don't know.
It's like it's Wahlberg, not Wahlburger.
Wahlberg. I'm dead, dude. Like, oh my god. Okay, I like him, but not that much.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they made him a little dumb. Like, from when I played the games, I feel like Sully was like a little lost, but he was smart at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was smart at the very beginning of the movie. But like towards the end, they were making a lot of old jokes. I don't know if you caught those on. Like, there were so many old jokes.
Yeah.
Like, he's not that old, and he's not that dumb. So that bothered me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He had the mentor vibe, but it definitely did bug me, bro. That I'm like, he's Sully, but he's not Sully.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he was smart, but pretty, like, dumb and soft when he would shoot anybody. Like, in the video game, from what I remember, he'd shoot anybody.
Yeah, he'd shoot anybody.
I think it's my issue's just with Mark. I think that's my issue. It's literally just with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, his acting to me is always, like, so funny. Like, he was trying to be funny, and he is, but at the same time, he should be a serious character. And I do wish they chose somebody that was a little, like, older. Because even when they first met, he was still pretty old. He could have been a grandpa then, too. The writing for him, I'm like 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't know. I vibed so much with Nathan and with Chloe, but with Sully, I'm like, I hope they better him. Because he's such a good character to play or to just, like, watch.
Yeah.
I really like him.
Like, if they sort of dyed his hair a little bit more gray, give him the mustache back and the cigar loving type of deal, we'd be set. But they didn't, so it's just like it just falls. Yeah.
That's like how you said he was in a way his own character, and he was carrying the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked him. I thought he was funny, and then but in the back of my head, he's like my brain was like, that's not Sully.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fine. Do the end credit scene, the mustache Can Mark not grow a mustache? What was that?
Oh, you mean like the pedo stash, like very light?
It was so thin. I'm like, what is that? Sully has a caterpillar on his face 24/7. Even when he was younger, he had a really thick mustache.
Yes, he did.
Where's that?
They just like threw it at the end to be like, and the director was like, "Oh shit, he has a mustache, and he smokes cigars."
What?
Okay.
The cat?
He does that? Okay, let's throw it at the end, give him a cigar, and be like, "Okay, that's Sully."
Literally, I felt like he either remembered or they were finally reading all of our tweets of like, where the fuck is mustache at? Mm-hmm. Where's the cigar? Where's Sully and his Hawaiian weird t-shirt? Where are those? Where are they? I was so happy to see that green shirt. I was like, yes, give him the look and I'll admire him. But I felt like his writing was a little icky and I wanted to see a little bit more of him, and I don't like that they made him a little too dumb. In my opinion, I feel like he was a little dumb, and I'm like,
it's like he's not dumb. He knows what he's doing. Like, but honestly, like the one bit that doesn't bother me, but I think what I'm thinking is that it probably bothers you, was the one bit when they went to the church, and they turned the key the wrong way, and then they almost got shot in the head, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, it's the wrong way." Was that the bit that bothered you?
It was that bit, and like him being stuck by the fountain and like trying to get down there.
Yeah.
And like just the microphone, the ear microphone thing, I was like, what? Okay. I took it. I was just like, whatever. But it bugged me. And like the phone jokes, like the old people jokes.
Oh yeah, that.
Like he has too many tabs opened. I was like, bruh. Like, leave my mans alone.
But then again, it's kind of funny though. It really is.
My mom does it all the time.
Yeah.
She's like, why is my phone burning up? Why isn't like loading my pictures? I'm like, Mom.
Yeah, like fucking 5,000 things
Close them. Literally.
Okay, so back to Sully. We won't ignore that Sully is a hard ass to Nate, as he did lie to him at mostly every corner and ultimately betrayed his trust with Nate.
Dude, yeah.
And that's because Sully tends to push people away, which is why not too many people like him. He was like this until Nate came into the picture and break down those barriers to gain his trust, which is shown at the end of the movie.
I'm trying to think of more about Sully, because like, I forget if in the video game he even got along with Sam. Like, were they besties or were they not besties?
Sully was like 50-50 with Sam.
What about Sam?
Yeah, because...
So I wonder if he has a soft spot for Nathan because of all the stuff that Sam would tell Sully about him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like yes. Like, are you talking about the video games or the movie?
Both.
I feel like in the video games, it was like more 50-50 because he was introduced to Sam after he got out of prison. He was introduced to Sam later in his life. In the movie, he was introduced to Sam when he was younger, and they both met each other, and they went on the adventure, and they went on the original adventure to find the ship with the gold and all this stuff, and Sam died. Obviously, I feel like there is a soft spot for Nate because since Nate is his younger brother, he sent letters to Nate. He's thinking, okay, Nate has these letters. It could probably lead to a treasure. The brother left him some clue or something to help him out find the treasure. Let's now talk about both Sully and Nate. So, what we do now is that Sully and Nate did not get along when we were first introduced, and they both did not trust each other.
Hostile.
Yeah, they're both hostile towards each other. And people were saying like it takes a bit for them to get together and get to a groove, which is like I certainly agree, but at the same time, it's like you'd really tell that these two people really just don't like trust each other, like don't want to be around one another. But that was until Nate was planning the heist to get the artifact. To me, that was like the first breaking point for them to trust each other. So, Nate asked Sully, the first thing was that Nate asked Sully to get him cat for himself. So that was the first step for them building their bond. because he was just like, all right, it's like, all right, I got the cutters, I got this, I got that. All right, and what you needed the cat for? It's like, oh, the cat was for you. And he was like, what?
I'm sorry?
He's like, yeah, it seems so depressing in here. I thought I was gonna something to lighten up the mood.
That shit was funny. That shit was funny. I like the cat.
And let's see. Throughout the movie, it built up more and more of their bonding, getting stronger, and it wasn't until the last act where we see this again when they fought off the dudes from the ship, and Sully giving up his treasure to save Nate because he was hesitant, but he let go of it, and they were both flying off, and Nate shows him like the treasure he kept them in his 15 different pockets.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Hearts all over. I was like, oh, I was literally like, I awed out loud. I was like, that's so cute. I loved it. I loved it. It was perfect. Keep going.
Yeah, and within the second credit scene, when Nate is getting the treasure map and Sully saves him, Sully brought two important things: his new cat, Mr. Whiskers, and his iconic mustache.
Yes, dude, the cat. Is he like the funny? You know how every Disney princess movie has a little animal?
Yeah.
Like, is that what they're going for? They want us to like the cat. They want us to love him, and I did. I thought he was cute. He didn't even have that many scenes, but I was like, that's adorable.
Yeah, I mean, like when we were first introduced to cat, it just like it broke the momentum for a hot second, and because everyone was just like, what?
A cat? Literally me. Yeah. I was like,
a cat? But then it was like, then it starts making sense, like throughout the entire film, like, you know, he's building it up more and more, and then how he was just like at the end he finally took in the cat, and I feel like that was a simple saying, he took in the cat, meaning he took in Nate, he trusted Nate.
That's a good metaphor. Is that what it's called, metaphor?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because like when they were at Chloe's place, he's all worried that his cat hasn't been fed, or like if he has been fed. I was like, that is so cute. And he was getting more comfortable with Nathan in that like scenery too. That is, I did not think about that. That was really good, Chris. That was like really smart. I'm like, wow. I like that. Dude, you did really good with that part. I'm out here hating on Sully, and you're like, you know what? Sully's the homie. I like that.
Thanks.
Oh man.
Okay, the last thing I have is just nitpicks. So just like little things I hated throughout the films. So I only hate a few things, and that was just Nate's age characteristics, quirkiness in his voice, Sully's mustache, and a raspy voice for like 10 plus years, which he doesn't have. He sounds very normal. Because you know in the video games he has the like like the cigar, yeah, the smoker voice, and he just doesn't have that.
No, I liked it. To me, it was like, I don't know if it was bad, but it was comforting. His raspy voice in the video game, I'm like, an old guy.
yeah,
like an old sweet guy. Oh man.
I did have a slight bug with the entire film as a whole, and that is like, I wish that the movie had better shots, which would have given the movie like better taste. What I mean by that is that I feel like they played it too safe and should have taken more into like making different shots. The only one that was really unique throughout the entire film was that when what was it? When Nate was falling out the plane, and we got that like a POV of like behind his like leg or whatever, or no, his face, and we see
literally
his
just waking up.
Yeah.
That was perfect. That was literally out of the video game. I loved it.
Yeah, and honestly, like that was like to me the only point where like I feel like that was unique cinematography. But other than that, the rest of the film just felt like it was in a single position and it was just doing that. I feel like if it gave it like a couple different shots and with the director's unique taste, you know, it would have made it like a bit more interesting and be like, okay, the director likes doing this and he does this in his films. Okay, that's really cool and different from the video games.
Yeah, dude, they needed that. That was one of my other complaints. But I guess I understand because of COVID. I think Tom said that they couldn't travel as much as they wanted to.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for the second movie they make up for it. Because Uncharted, literally, the entire video game is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because they're always like at a jungle, at a desert, or just anywhere lost, and every scene is beautiful. Like the ship scene, I thought that looked cool, but it was a lot of like ocean. I don't know if that's it bugged me a little bit. I wanted to see more greenery and like more mountains and maybe more of the island, because the video game has so much of it and I never skipped it. I would always watch because it was so pretty.
It was.
So I totally get that.
Yeah, I just felt like there were so many missed opportunities with this film. But then again, you did bring up a good point with like whole COVID and things like that. It does limit a lot of things. Yeah,
I was like, okay, fine, just make up for it next year. We're okay. I want to see more.
I would actually give it more like a few years. That way, that way you can make up a good story.
Hopefully, Tom Holland's like the age of Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
By then. But yeah, that was definitely like something that bothered me. It was that they didn't use enough scenery. I feel like they could have done it with CGI if they really, 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 really tried, and maybe they just didn't have the budget either.
Yeah, it could be.
Because the video game is a video game. That's just, it's fake. So maybe they could have done that.
But then again, like the video games, like make it look good.
I know, like God of War, Horizon, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Use what they're using and put all like the cool scenery that Uncharted uses.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Another nitpick. Did you have more?
Yeah, I had one more.
Go for it.
So the last thing I had on this whole entire thing was that it's not like a nitpick, but thing is, it's something you notice is that they use a different shot where Sully and Nate first interact in the trailer, but it feels nice because it feels like a little slight change to like what we're like known to, because obviously in the trailer when they first introduced, they're like, oh, like, aren't you like a little too old for prom, aren't you a little too young for this, but then they changed that in the film, which I actually did not mind, because it just felt like, okay, they changed it a little bit, it just, because I felt like if they kept the same thing, it's just, it kind of would have been like okay.
It wouldn't have worked either.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
It just wouldn't make sense to me.
It works in the trailer, but doesn't work in the film, and I like that they changed that.
Me too. I did not even like remember that till you started talking about. You said prom, and I was like, oh my god, you're so right.
Yeah,
I remember that now.
Yeah. Obviously, you remember that, and yeah, that was good though, and I'm glad that they like everything that was introduced in the trailer was in the film, unlike like the first Spider-Man film, where they introduced a couple scenes that were just like only used for the trailer and was never brought into the film.
In the freaking movie.
And it wasn't just the line; it was a whole scene that just like felt like it was gonna be in the movie.
That's not true. I feel like Marvel does that a lot too.
They do a lot in their trailer.
Freaking prank you.
Yeah.
Damn.
But like, I guess that's another note to. I have another thing about the CGI as well.
Go for it.
Because like, obviously, the CGI in the Spider-Man like No Way Home film was okay. Like, obviously people say it's great, but like honestly, it's okay.
I wish they worked on it harder.
I wish they had. I wish they put the budget in that shit. Jesus Christ.
It was a really dark nighttime movie. It was literally constantly nighttime. And I wanted it to be more, because like to me Spider-Man's like super colorful. I have so many Spider-Man comic books, and there's not a lot of nighttime unless it's like with Black Cat or something like that. But I wish it had more colors, and I wish they worked on the CGI more, because like when Andrew landed,
yeah,
dude, it was like bloop.
Yeah,
what was that?
It was just like a jiggly monster. He was just fucking going up and down. I'm like, and then he took off his mask and his costume was still CGI, and I'm like, bro, he already got the real costume on. You don't gotta put the CGI over that.
Dude, oh my, I know we're talking about Uncharted, but can I say something that always bothered me about Spider-Man?
Go ahead.
You know how when he has the mask on, he literally like obviously has a shell, so his head looks like round and perfect.
Yeah.
But every time they take off the mask, it's just like this rag.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my god, that always bothers me, and I get it, but I'm like, dude, like why? I don't like it. Just looks like underwear. Like put a shell in it. I don't know. Just I feel like Spider-Man. I feel like he would not just have a piece of fabric on his face. I feel like he's a smart kid and he'd put a shell on it too.
Yeah.
Like a helmet, not just a rag.
But I feel like, you know, obviously Spider-Man's character is like, oh, it's always spandex, you know?
I'm like, nah.
To me, I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Not for the head. To me, I'm like, nah, dude. He needs at least some form of protection.
Yeah.
Anyway, Uncharted.
Honestly, Uncharted CGI was not bad. There's some bits that were just like okay, but thing is, it wasn't as bad as Spider-Man.
Chip? Was it first CGI when he like swam under and first saw the ship? Was that CGI or was that or was that a set? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I honestly, it's 50-50 because I don't really know.
I was like, because that looked good to me. I was like, if it was CGI, I thought it would look awesome. Like the ship looked.
It looked natural, yeah.
I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, and the ship actually looked pretty nice.
It looked sick. And when they were in it and fighting on top of it, I was like, oh god.
Yeah, it did feel like cool. It did feel like at the end of like an Uncharted game. You know, like some crazy shit happens at the end of the game, and I feel like that just captured it naturally. They're on a plane. They're both on two different ships. They take out the guy. The enemies on the other ship. They hop on the other plane. You know, like all this other crazy shit.
They just beat a bunch of people. They're tired. They're trying to go home. It felt like an Uncharted game at the end too, dude. The end credit scene when they started playing the music.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, and like hearing it so loudly because I usually like when I play Uncharted, I'm at home with my headset, so it's like low and it's not too loud, and it sounded so beautiful over those movie theater stereos or whatever they use. I was like, this is great.
Yeah,
I love that.
No, that I want to head back to like the movie experience because I want to know like how was the movie theater when you first did it? Because when you watched the film, you actually watched it, I think, a day or so earlier than I did. So like, how was like the room?
It was honestly, the middle area was full. The bottom was empty. A lot of people definitely looked like, oh, this is Indiana Jones, I'm gonna go watch it. And very little of the amount of people knew about the game because I would look and people would be pointing a little bit like I was. I tend to do this a lot when I'm like watching movies. I'm like, oh my god, that. I was like, I know about this. And
that.
Literally, I'm like, do you see this? I was like, I played this part. I was telling my friend, I was like, when he jumped on the boxes of the airplane, I was like, oh my god, it feels like I'm pressing X. Like I want to press it so bad because that's all you do in Uncharted when there's an intense scene. You just have to go like this super fast.
You just have to control it. You're just like,
I was like, I'm gonna fall. I'm like, please go.
You're just like,
but
fuck,
and then you die. Dude, you die. I die so many times in that game. But other than that, it was okay. There were some people. It wasn't as full as I thought it was gonna be.
Alright, hang on, my webcam went out.
You're good.
Okay, I got my webcam back on, and Andy has gone to the bathroom. I'm gonna go ahead and take this time to actually let you guys know to go ahead and follow me on my socials. So go ahead and follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at ChrisIsWeirdIs25. There's probably gonna be another version on TikTok as well that you guys are gonna see as well. So go ahead and see that. Give that a like as well. All right. So obviously you talked about how the movie was like your movie was a bit filled, but just not the bottom section.
No.
But
the bottom and a bit of the top, it was kind of empty.
Honestly, I experienced the same thing as well, but I feel like I had even less people. Like if I had to count, I had to feel like the maximum people was there 50.
50?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Like when I went, right, I was looking at it, and then you went a little after me, right?
It was like the day after.
At the same time.
It's nearly the same time. So we both had the similar experience where there wasn't too many people there.
That's why I'm wondering how it's like number one. Because hasn't it been number one for the past 2 weeks?
Oh, well, like I meant to pull up the statistics for the film, but it's done pretty well in its own right. Let me see.
Another question I have: were they able to put it like anywhere else? You know how they've been putting movies in the theater and then some like the same movie on like Amazon or HBO or something like that. Were they able to do that, or was it just movie theater only?
I think this was only movie theater only, because they would have promoted it like, hey, it's on here and it's also on like get it on this website.
Okay, because I'm like, it's doing really good for a video game movie, and I'm like truly completely PlayStation. I love you, dude. The intro.
Yeah.
The intro for PlayStation was sick. God of War, freaking what is it? Tsunami or
yeah, it goes to tsunami, like tsunami.
Dude, that was so cool, but at the same time, I was cracking up with my friend because it was like company after company after company. It like didn't stop. I was like, yo, when's the movie gonna start?
But then again, luckily it was only like what 4 companies in the beginning. Luckily it wasn't like 10 of them.
Thank gosh, but I was like,
you're like XYZ production, ZZ production, production, like, and be like, okay, I know this thing has been in writer's hell for like 10 years, but my god, like it doesn't need that many people, all right?
Relax, I get it.
Yeah, relax, Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
No, but
wow.
But this also takes me to my next notice. Well, like you and I both did something quite illegal. And you already know.
Get them, please. Get them.
Okay. So I'm gonna first call you out before I call myself out. So I was texting Andy like a few days before, talking about this like collab thing, and we've been chit chatting since we got to this point. And one of the things was just like, Andy was saying like, I just take some pictures from the film, and I'm like, okay, you know, some people do that. They take some pictures at the end of the film, takes the little videos or things like that. Like, well, no, this Andy has like decided to take like multiple photos, videos of just like the ending, just so she could probably post them online. How don't you?
I wanted to so bad. I recorded, don't call the police, people. Whoever was watching, leave me alone. I recorded the whole end credits.
FBI.
Open up.
This one right here. I have no involvement.
Dude, because at the end I was like, wow, this is really freaking good. And I was like, you know what? There's gonna be an end credit scene. I'm gonna pull out my phone and I just recorded like literally. Let me see. It's 2 minutes long. That's like almost the whole movie at this point. But I just pulled it out. My friend was making fun of me. You gotta show me. I'm gonna cut this out from the video, but you gotta show me. I was even recording the music. I was like, oh my god, the video game. I was enjoying it. Yeah, it's 1 minute and 45 seconds long.
She's very proud of that, if you can't tell.
Yes, because I'm rewatching it anytime. On lunch, I was like, oh, this is good.
At the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up these photos because you committed another crime, which is putting your feet up on the fucking seats, probably disturbing the person right in front of you. There probably was no one in front of her, but you know what? For like, try to get her. Yeah. I'm mentioning that.
Recliner seats. Recliner. I promise. I use recliner seats.
Okay.
I promise you. But I do be doing that when I don't get reserved seating.
Yeah, did you reserve your seat when you?
Yes.
Yeah, I same thing too. But when I when I went to go buy the tickets and when I went to go to reserve the seats, I saw like basically every seat was still open. So I was probably the only one because I went to go see it with my sister. We were the only probably two that got the reserved seating. But honestly, we just sat wherever because no one was there.
I'm sorry.
But this also brings up the thing that now I'm gonna call myself out for this because I
do it.
So, I think I watched the movie illegally. So, I bought the tickets, right? Like I 100%. Okay, I'm putting it on the dot right now that I 100% bought the tickets. I did. Yes, I did. I bought the tickets. I have the fucking proof. But when I went to go into the movie theaters, there was like no one working because there's work shortage, all this other shit, So they had like just the screen, and I was just like, who the fuck do I show this to? There's no one here. Like deadass, there was no one there. So I had to pull it up. I went to the one in the screening like at the table because they had the computer screen reversed facing towards you, and I pulled it out. I scanned it. Nothing happened. And like I scanned it again, and nothing happened either. So I was just like, okay, well, I bought the tickets, so I'm just gonna go in. So I just went in and watched the movie.
You could have gotten a return. You could have returned the tickets.
Bro, I
didn't get scanned. You could have returned the tickets.
Bro, I could have, but I was like, for any like legal reasons, because you know sometimes these places have cameras and they could probably catch you, and I'm just like, okay, if they catch me, I have the thing on my phone. Be like, okay, here it is on my phone. I have it.
Did I take the wrong seat? Yes, but I bought tickets. I bought tickets.
Where'd you sat?
I saw in the so like a good amount of people showed up, and I really like sitting like right in the middle.
Yeah.
So I just sat like a row behind my row, and I took a free spot, and we all moved there.
It's a free spot.
I was like, I love being right in the middle of the theater, right in the middle of the screen. If I don't get those tickets first, I get really sad, and I was like, yeah. So I took seats.
Yeah, I mean, like, I did the same thing because, like, there was no other reserved seating that bought it. So I was just like, and half the theater was practically empty. I'm like, okay, let's just sit here. Right there, right in the middle, enjoy the film.
Yes, sir. It was fun, dude. I had fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I definitely, like, for percentage, I give it, like an 80. 80 out of 100. 8 out of 10. 4 stars, not 5 stars. 4 stars. Because it was good. It was really good.
What are you gonna list next? Like A, B, or C, D tier? Be like, it's a B. It's a 80% for me. 4.5 stars. B tier.
C. No, wait. It's a B plus.
Okay, no, but what is your actual ranking? Do you want to do it by letter, by like 4 or 5 stars, or by out of 10?
It's your video. Which one do you prefer?
Let's do it out of 10.
Okay, 8 out of 10.
Okay, I say it's also like an 8 out of 10 as well. So, to those who are wondering, it is worth a watch. And those who have already watched it, it is also worth a rewatch.
Even if you love the game, or if you've never seen the game, I feel like it's something so new that you'll still like it.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
Like my friend, we took one of my girlfriends and she did not play the games. She's not a gamer, but she still enjoyed it because she grew up watching Indiana Jones. So I was like, let's go watch this. Yeah. It was like, come join us.
Yeah, and I took my sister, and she's like, she doesn't play video games, but she does like the actor Tom Holland. She does like comedy. She does like action adventure. So I said, this is like perfect for her, and she enjoyed it as well.
Oh, did she rate it? Did you ask her? I want to know how much she liked it. As a person who hasn't watched the games, or anything like that, I want to know what they've been rating it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like people who don't know the video games, they're obviously going to like this. They're 100% going to like this film. But people who are, like, really into the video game, they're, like, obviously, like, 50-50. Like us, we both enjoyed it, but have been, like, many people who also say they hated the film. Like people who like really like the video game but hated the film. But like I feel like those people are just like not open-minded about this whole project.
I swear I'm trying to get that little voice out of my head like, this is wrong, and I'm like, no, let me enjoy it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, before the film I was like, I need to go into it with an open mind. Because if I go in with that thought, I'm gonna go throughout the whole film hating it, but actually liking it, but forcing myself to think I need to hate it.
Yeah, literally, that's what I tried. My friend was like, just forget about it. I'm like, okay, but like I was able to enjoy it even with my stupid little voice in the back of my head. Like this plot line is twisted, and I'm like, yes, oof, move on. That's why I'm not giving it like a 5. I'm giving it an 8 and taking 2 points, right?
Yeah.
9 and 10. Because it confused me the way they were going with the plot, and like they're going backwards, so I'm like, damn it confused me. And then 2, like Sully and just Mark.
Yeah.
Like he just throws me off a little, but he did good.
The only concern I have about like this idea of people having like a okay, it has to be with the video game franchise. It has to like match up every single thing, like every single little detail has to match to the show or movie. Like that's to me is a bit of a concern to those people, because it's like, what are their thoughts gonna be for the Last of Us series?
Dude, I'm scared. I hope people that have never played it really like it, because The Walking Dead has how many seasons? Is it still going?
Like 10, and about to be finished, something like that.
Sir, like if it has that many seasons, I think they're gonna enjoy The Last of Us, and I hope they do. I know they're already mad about the young actress. I've seen some like drama and like thumbs down about that.
About Ellie?
She's a little too young, and I'm like,
Ellie is 14.
Have you played this? Literally, I was like, she's a child in the freaking video game. Why are you complaining?
Yeah, like,
I think they were expecting more older Ellie, but I'm like, it doesn't make sense the way they're doing it.
No, just leave it alone. It's like, it's perfect as it is. And like Pedro Pascal as like Joel. Oh.
Yes, I love that guy. I was so excited to see him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm happy. He's such a good actor.
Seeing him playing Joel is like, it's gonna be like wonderful, honestly.
It's fucking perfect.
It
is so perfect. The casting, perfect. The picture that I always talk to you about, that I thought it was literally a screenshot from the video game, and it's just a little preview of like, this is their outfits. I was like, huh? Like I had to really zoom in, and I'm like, oh my god, that's real hair, and like that's a real person.
Yeah,
that's Pedro right there. I wanted to grab him. It's gonna be good.
Yes.
Now, do I wish they did Uncharted as a series? No.
Nah. Well,
I think it deserves to be a movie.
It definitely deserves to be a movie. Because like but the only, obviously, I feel like the biggest issue that people have with it is like, since it's not like the video games, but then again, when you look at the video games have hours and hours, so it has like so much time to work with. So, and if you take all those cutscenes down, it's like 5 hours, and it's like, well, that's not gonna work as a film, as a 5-hour film. They need to have a runtime for people to enjoy it.
Because when I was rewatching, because I haven't played the games in a while.
Yeah.
I was rewatching a lot of the gameplay, and there's a person that does gameplay for video games, and he doesn't really talk. He just lets it go like it's a movie.
Yeah.
And they're all like 6 to 7 hours long.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I'm glad it's a movie.
Yeah, because it works out really well.
I keep talking about the outfits. I thought they were perfect. The color and like just the t-shirts. I don't know if they like found it at Walmart or if they had somebody make them, but either way, I was like, wow. I was like, that's Nathan Drake. Like, he looks sick. They really paid attention to his outfits the most. Like Chloe, she was wearing red, so I'm like, okay, that's Chloe.
Yeah.
Sully, I feel like they gave up on him. But Nathan, I was like, all his outfits were on point. Literally out of the video game. This is like perfection. And then I really, really enjoyed, because if you've played Uncharted, you know that it's literally just like a lot of puzzles and a lot of jumping and shooting. I wish there was more jumping and more ropes, because like that's my favorite part of the game. And they did add a tiny bit of like, oh, let's figure out this puzzle, or like this book is telling us to do this and that, and I'm like, that's the video game. And I really, really enjoyed that. I wish there was a little more, but it would definitely like take a lot of the screen time if they were to decide to make it more puzzly like the game. But I like that they added it slightly with Sam's card, the church, and I think that's it. I think that was it for the puzzles, but I really like, it got me excited seeing that. I'm like, do the fire, turn the fire on the card, do it. It was good.
Yeah, like seeing that moment was definitely the best, because I was just like, oh, finally he picked it up.
He fucking figured it out. Jesus, it took him a long time. I was like, dude,
it took him 15 years.
Like, you do not see a thing going on with all these cards. He's sending you so many.
Yeah, that's
and
how.
it's your brother. You should know.
Yeah, honestly, Sam being like what, like only a few years older than Nate, to me that was fine. Because it was just like, if it was 10 years apart, then that wouldn't work anymore, because Sam would have been out of the
of the jail, I think so.
No, of the the church, not the church, the orphanage. Obviously,
yeah.
he would still see Nate, but like it would have. I feel like this dynamic would have been better since there would have been much more closer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess he was 18. Well, he was 15 in the orphanage in the game too, I think. I feel like they just chose an actor that looks so young. And I think the only thing bothering me with Sam is that they decided to keep the same actor as Sam instead of just choosing a bit of an older looking guy that has gone through some shit, if that makes sense.
I feel like it was a different guy.
Did they?
Yeah, because
or did they show his face?
No, I feel like it was a different guy. Hang on, let me pull up the IMDb page. No, because like it was a different actor that played young Sam, and at the end it was like you could tell it was definitely an older guy.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
It doesn't say on the IMDb page, but I'm trying to see. But I feel like that leaves room for a different actor to probably come in.
Yeah, I hope so. Cause like, have you seen Sam from the video games?
Yeah, he has like
Play the fourth one.
I haven't played it, but I've seen like a little bit of it.
Like he looks like he's aged.
Yeah, yeah.
And gone through some hell, which he did.
Yes, he did.
Bro. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna how do you say it? Portray?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that. Like how they're gonna do the third movie. The one I'm scared about, is it the second one? Did you play the second one? 1, 2, 3?
Mm-hmm.
Is the second one the one with the Yetis? Like mystical creatures?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous if he's gonna, like, if the second one's gonna flop and it's gonna be bad, because you know him, he cannot direct second films.
Yeah.
The sequel, he can't do it. So I'm scared if it's gonna flop or if it's gonna do really good. And if it does good, are they gonna try and do the second game with all the Yetis? Because that's gonna be a lot of CGI too. And Venom looks sick as hell. He looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope if they go to the Yeti movie, I hope they look crazy and like super badass.
Yeah, but it's like I said, he painted himself an open canvas. He can't go wrong.
Hope not.
I really hope he doesn't, because he painted himself his own canvas and he can work off of that canvas. There's literally no way he could mess that up because he did it himself. Obviously with the writers and things like that, but like there's no way you can just mess that up. If you made it from scratch.
Like I wonder if he's gonna like maybe keep out the what's her name, Elena. I wonder if they're gonna like he wants to keep it out.
Oh right. Speaking of like the second end credits, because because you know at the end of that credit, obviously Nate gets gets the map, he gets his necklace back, and they both walk out and they're like, oh shit. I feel like
somebody's there.
I feel like that's Elena.
I really hope so. I kept thinking it might, because in the third movie there's like an old lady and she's a villain, and that's like from Sully's past. So I'm hoping it's either her, or I would love if it was his wife. I want it to be his wife. She's such a badass. I like her. She's sick.
Yeah, I really want to see Elena in the next film.
I'm looking at all like the video game Sam and video game Nate, and they were so cute. Oh, they're so handsome.
Yeah. Well, that was mostly everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video with me and Andy both talking about the Uncharted film. You have any last words, Andy?
Please follow Chris on Twitter and TikTok. His TikTok is gonna do really good. I really liked his first TikTok. It was really entertaining. And please subscribe to his YouTube channel. I think it's gonna do really great things, and I'm really excited to see more of it.
Thank you,
That's
Andy.
what I have to say.
And I guess I could do the reversal to say to go ahead and also follow Andy on, oh my god, he has so many socials. You have Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and on Twitch as well. At Andysolo54.
All of them. You should be able to find me. But by the way, he didn't like hold a gun to my head or anything like that. I genuinely like mean it. Please like subscribe. I think he's gonna do really good. He's gonna do good. He's gonna do great things.
Oh,
I
my
promise.
God.
There's nothing like right here.
There's nothing right there. Well, we don't even live right next to each other, so that's like obviously.
We're safe. We're good.
Yeah, obviously. Only person you gotta worry about is the FBI.
Yeah, they're gonna watch this fucking. They're probably watching me record it right now. Next thing I know, I'm gonna get a text message like, "Hey,
Hey,
no."
it'd be like, "Hey, you up?"
The FBI, you up? No.
Oh dear lord.
Oh, that was fun.
All right. Well, I hope you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye.